Hi, I'm Justin.
And I'm Laura.
And this is week 1 of
Level 2, January 2017.
at Wednesday Night Hop.
At Wednesday Night Hop.
And so this is our new Charleston class, which is kind of talking about mixing Charleston and Lindy Hop, switching between them, and we're going to talk about kind of different ways that you can mix footworks to create kind of new moves.
Yep.
So this week we did kind of 2 sections. We started out with what we called a lazy swing out. And so just like when you learn the regular swing out, we started first with a swing out from close to close, like a Lindy circle. And that looked like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we said, I don't really care how much you rotate around. And the trick to making this work, we said, was that when we step, 1, 2, 3, I step first around my partner, and my partner steps in between my feet. And then when we come around, we reverse it.
The other way. So I step around, and he steps kind of in between my feet.
It doesn't work if we are afraid to get close to each other. So if we try to do it like this, we can't really rotate around each other very well. But if we actually kind of get in close and sort of step into our partner's personal space without getting the rest of our body into our partner's personal space, then it works much better. So then we talked about opening it up. So this was the equivalent of the swing out from close to open. And it looked like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. And we said, when do we break away? We break away around 7-ish. And you were all able to do that pretty well. Go ahead.
To say the leads tend to move back more than the follows. For 7, follows are still kind of in place. So leads just started to let go of us, and it's really on the 1 where we step farther back and leads do more movement.
So let's show that so they see it. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. So you saw that I took kind of a bigger step back on 7. It's like 7, whereas Laura's sort of just stepping in place because she doesn't know it's coming. And then on the 1, we both kind of stretch out. And then we talked about this stretch where we told you guys not to drop your shoulder forward, but we still want to have kind of a lot of space between each other. And we talked about swinging our arms back helps move our center of gravity back, which helps create a stretch in our arms. So that was the swing out from close to open, and then we did a swing out from open to open, which is just normal. You all could do it. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you notice here we're getting around about 3/4 of the way, and that's fine.
Yep. We also talked a lot about keeping this hand relaxed. The follows right, leads left, and so we had you guys practice dropping it as you were enclosed to really stay relaxed as you're doing this.
And we said that if you tense up your arms, what happens is that as we try to come in, we cannot because our arms prevent us from coming into each other. So that reason, among many others, is a good reason to have kind of relaxed arms in this and everything else you do in Lindy Hop. So then we moved on to something different, which we then connected at the very end. So the different thing started with a tuck turn and went into airplanes. So it looked like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're in Airplane Charleston, which you all knew how to do, which was really cool. So what we said about this was that, first of all, when we do that tuck turn, we need to aim our partner and then rotate ourselves so that we end up in a particular position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here we are side by side. I sort of like aim Laura that way, and then however things end up, I make sure that I fix it so that we're side by side like this.
So kind of like this, in a straight line.
Then you could all do this free spin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But coming out of the free spin, if we want to go into airplane, the trick is that you have to have an extra kick step at the end. Kick step. So show it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rock step, kick step, kick step, kick step. And if you get that kick step, you're basically forced into Airplane Charleston. Kick and kick step. And then we talked about different ways that we could do Airplane Charleston.
Yep.
So, go ahead.
So one of the footwork variations was getting rid of the kicks and doing the same footwork that we had done in the lazy Lindy, lazy swing out that we had done. And so it looks like this. Rock, step, step, rock, step, step, rock, step, step. And we talked a lot about, as you're doing this, on the rock step, you kind of start to turn your hips. And so on the step, you've turned all the way around and then can step straight forward. And you do the same thing, rotate, step, step. And we talked about this being a step, step, as well as a rock, step, step. step, step, step.
So that was one way, and then the other way was just holding hands through it. And we said when we do this, we're not able to rotate our upper bodies as much, but we still want to rotate our hips just the same as we were doing here. So Laura said to think of it sort of as twisting a ribbon, where the ribbon is your body.
So our hips are twisting more than our shoulders are so that we can still stay connected with our partner, but we still are moving back and forth in the same line.
The other thing that we talked about with this was that it's important in all of the Charleston moves, but in particular with these, that you keep moving through, that you don't do it like a march. So what I mean by that is that the way we say it, we say rock, step, step, rock, step, step. And some people were dancing initially as rock, step, step, rock, step, step. But in fact, we keep moving through even as we step. Rock, step, moving, rock, step, moving.
This also helps if you maintain your pulse. You're less likely to kind of stop if you keep your pulse going as you're doing this.
So then the last thing we did was we connected these. So we showed how we could go from this, we get into closed position, and now we can do that tuck turn. And then we showed at the very end how we could go from the airplanes back into our lazy swing outs. So join us next week when we will be changing the footwork of all this and making it.
Use some more things to play with.
Yeah, so we'll see you all next week. Thank you.